All right, we're going to take 2 on this video now. So welcome back to another episode. Yes, we are in our slide again. And we filmed this video yesterday while we were in the truck because we are going to talk about driving and mapping your route. Because Renee is our co-pilot for when we drive. So yesterday we were physically driving somewhere and I thought it would be just perfect to film it while we were driving because all the stuff we use is in the truck and it's just normal. But with the diesel being so loud and everything like that, yeah, the footage wasn't that great. It was good footage, it was just loud.
Hey everybody, so as Scott said, I'm going to explain what I do as co-pilot. Well, the first thing I do is I go on Google and I look at our route.
So,
I told you not to do it in the truck.
Yeah, I know. And we were going to do it here in the RV, but the couple behind us, they were building new steps outside and there was power tools going on. So we were like, hey, let's just go to the beach. And then we were going to film it at the beach, but there was like 12 mile an hour winds. So you know how that goes. So we're going to try this again. And today we are going to talk about co-piloting, proper co-piloting. What a co-pilot does.
Or if it's a single person driving, just planning your route.
Yeah, if you have 2 people in the car, a co-pilot. Renee is my co-pilot and is just as important as a pilot. As y'all know, if you've ever flown or anything like that, you know, it's great to have a person who's another set of eyes and directionals and stuff like that. So Renee's going to explain to you, I'm going to get out of this seat and I'm going to have Renee explain to you what she does and how she does the co-piloting stuff. So she's got a really good system that I think is duplicatable to other RVers. And I think Renee has a very good layer of protection.
Well, so far.
So far. We still have the ACs on top, and we've only had to reverse out of a situation once, but that was when we first started. So stay tuned. We're going to explain this more, and here we go.
So as Scott explained, I'm going to show you what I do as co-pilot. So once we know where we're going, usually the night before, I pull up on Google Maps. I'll plan out our route. This is just going to the grocery store, just to give an example. And then I go to satellite, which is the button up here. And that will give me more of a street view so I can kind of see the route better and what to expect. And then once I know our route with Google, I then kind of cross-check it with a Trucker Atlas. And what's great about the Trucker Atlas is it's not a good example. Can I get a state that's, there we go.
Vertical state?
Yeah. Anything that's an orange is safe for a trucker to be on. So if a trucker can be on that route, then I know we're safe to be on that route as well. And that's pretty much what I use to kind of cross-check. If we're traveling somewhere that I'm not familiar with, like us being in Florida, we've been here so much, I don't use this. But I also use the app RV Parky. I believe I'm saying it correct. And what I like about it, if we're going somewhere new, is I cross-check it to see, it'll have a little triangle. And that will tell me if there's a low bridge. So that's always my biggest fear when we travel, is coming across a low bridge and then what do we do? But if I'm using the Trucker Atlas, it should be pretty safe, but I always just sort of double check for that low bridge clearance. And that's pretty much what I use to do to check for the route. All right, so now you're on the road and you want to get gas or you want to get food, but you don't want to just be randomly getting off the exits and looking for something. So what do? We got this book, and ours is a little old.
It's a lot old.
It's been used for almost 3 years, but it's the Next Exit book. And this book has just been like amazing for me when I'm trying to help Scott. And what it does, it'll show you each exit off the highway, and it gives you all like the facilities, restaurants, stores, shopping, all kinds of stuff that's going to be off that exit. So what we use it for is more gas and food, because we're not really shopping when we got the RV behind us.
What? No shopping?
No shopping. We have gone to the outlets once, but...
Oh, we did go to the outlets with the RV, didn't we?
Yes. But if so, say example you want food and you want to go to like a Chick-fil-A and you're not Chick-fil-A parking lots are always usually very small, and you're not going to be able to get in the parking lot with them. So what I'll do is go and look for an exit that's got a bigger town, and then it might have like a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a Walmart, somewhere where we can get in and park and then walk to the Chick-fil-A. So I'll cross-reference once we know, okay, we think we want to stop here and get food. I go to Google and then look again on the satellite and see, is there a big enough parking area for us to park and then be able to walk safely to that restaurant to get some food. So that's pretty much what we do for the food. And then when we need fuel, again, we come back to the next exit book. And I forgot to mention, anything in red is going to be RV friendly. So that's always the first thing I'm looking for, is RV friendly stuff.
Well, that says donuts.
It's RV,
in red.
It's RV friendly.
Donuts are RV friendly.
Yep. But so when we're traveling with the RV, the first thing we always want, ideally, is a truck stop, because it's big enough. It's got the diesel. We go right to the trucker lanes, and it just makes life so much easier for Scott to get in and out of the truck stops. And if you have gas, usually the truck stops as well, like a Pilot, should be big enough for an RV. And again, it's in red, so it should be safe enough for you to pull in and get gas. But if you're somewhere, which we have been, where there's no truck stops, we've had to go on a Shell, a TA and a Shell. Usually TA are truck stops, but a Shell is in red, so then we would know it should be safe enough for us to pull in. And I kind of always will just still double check if it's not a truck stop, just to make sure it does still look big enough. We pulled into one once that was in red, but it was a little tight for us to get through, but we did it. Yeah. So I always just like to double check. I try to avoid any stress for Scott to have to pull into these tight spots, and then, you know, it's co-pilot and the wife, I got to kind of help him, calm him down. So.
And if I'm calm, she's calm. So if I'm not stressing out and trying to be like, oh, then she's okay too.
So the next exit book has just been amazing for us. An RVer friend recommended it to us, and it's just been great. And the Trucker Atlas and the next exit book we both got off of Amazon. I think they were around 20 bucks each or so. And we will have a link down below where you can find them as well on the Amazon. And they've just been super helpful. I feel it's definitely has made our life a lot easier with RVing. We've had new friends that just started RVing, and the first thing I told them to get was these 2 books. And they've been using them, but they're new, and they were doing some boondocking. And she even said to me, oh, wasn't it, you know, the best place to do boondocking? And I said, well, did you look on Google? She said, kinda. And I said, did you look at the satellite and see what it actually would have looked like, you know, in real pictures? And she said, no, that would have been a great idea. If I had done that, then we probably wouldn't have stopped at that place once we saw the size of the parking lot.
I hope that worked for you guys. I hope you got some information out of it. I know a lot of people today will rely strictly on GPS. I remember when we first started, I would put in the route to the truck GPS, and we have
well, ours is an update. That's not
yeah,
fair.
yeah. Ours is a 2014 F-250, and the GPS hadn't been updated since 2013. So there was some serious twists and turns on there, and we were like, what the heck is going on? Where are we going? So of course, then we went to the typical just going straight to Google and using Google and doing the first level of checking, which was making sure there was no tight turns, or Google wasn't taking us on an off-road just to save 5 minutes. And that's the one.
Through somebody's yard, through a fence.
Yeah, we're gonna go through a farm just to save 5 minutes. Google has a tendency.
Remember that time in the mountains it started taking us in some weird. We didn't have the RV though.
Offshoot turns,
when we
man.
got lost
Oh my God, in the pitch black. Google was just to save us, I think it was like 5 minutes, and it took us on some back road which turned into a 180-degree turn in the pitch black in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. But then there was a gated community that we couldn't get in, so we literally had to back down this tiny road, back down 180 degrees in the dark. It was the worst. So really check your Google. If Google is the only resource that you're using, you really want to double, triple check instead of just looking at the time. What's the fastest time? Kind of zoom in and kind of look at your route and your turns. The other thing is a lot of people are also buying the new RV Garmin GPSs, or the Rand McNally GPS, or whoever else has got RV GPSs. I know they came out with trucker GPSs first, like over the road trucker GPSs, which are great. those will work equally well because there's definitely a weight limit. It'll show the rest stops. It'll show your weigh stations, which we really don't need. I think in some states, if you're whatever certain weight, you go through a weigh station. But now with the RV one, you can put in your dimensions and your length. I think Garmin has done a very, very good job of that. We're actually considering one. I know I'm going to put a link above over here. I know Chad and Tara from Changing Lanes did a side-by-side comparison of a couple of different RV GPSs, and there's a pretty good difference on which one works well and which one is kind of like, oh, okay, we'll go with the other one. So again, these books, The Next Exit and the Trucker's Atlas, oh, this poor thing, dude, have been pretty life-saving, pretty headache-saving, and
I'll make notes.
Literally written notes.
Yeah.
Like there's written notes in here of stops. There's highlights.
Notes, don't come in here or park here. You can get food. So it's been like, it's just awesome. We just love this thing. As you can see, it's been used.
And as Renee said earlier, she might have said that earlier, is the reason why we haven't gotten rid of this book is because the notes are in there of our frequent path from summer to winter going up north, pre-COVID, obviously. That's one reason why we don't get it, because it's like, man, how do you transfer notes like that? You have to go through every page and then write them down and stuff like that.
And not too much is really changing with exits. A restaurant may come or go, but for the most part, what we need, the gas station is probably going to be there.
Yeah, and it definitely works. It's definitely helpful if, diesel-wise, obviously it works very, very well to go through the trucker lanes. On that note, I will also put a link up here. If you are a diesel frequent driver, there are diesel perks program to save you on money for diesel, especially at your truck stops. It's a diesel fleet card. I'll put a link here of ways to save money, and there's a description of the diesel fleet card in there. If you are a gasser, our friends just bought a Class A gas, and they're towing, they have a toad behind them, a minivan, and that could be challenging going into, like, if you're in Georgia, a racetrack or a quick trip, or going into a Tom Thumb or anything else that's a little tight. And sometimes the truck stops don't have regular petrol gas.
So petrol is the British English word. The American English word is gas or gasoline. So gasoline is quite long. We shorten it to gas.
In the trucker lanes, just to go straight in and straight out. So it'd be a little challenging. So you definitely want to make sure that even though you may not need diesel, if this book has everything in red that's trucker RV friendly,
Exxon.
like Exxon here is big rig friendly, basically that's what the red means, is it'll save you some headache even as a gas pusher, a gasser. A lot of benefits for every type of RVer there, especially if you're new. You don't ever want to get in a situation as a new RVer. I mean, a famous one for us when we used to live up in Panama City Beach is the Pensacola Graffiti Bridge, man. That's a train bridge, and every day there's a truck or an RV going under that thing, and it's just taking the tops off, taking ACs off. Delivery trucks that are delivering into Pensacola, they're just going whack, and there's signs in the front, and it's a one-way, and there's signs that say do not enter, here's the height, and this, that, and the other. And that's the other thing, know your height. Yeah, know your height, because that's huge, man. That's super huge. So all right, guys, that's it. Hopefully you learned something about this, and if you are a co-pilot or a solo driver, hopefully this helped you plan out your route. And that's a key takeaway, is plan your route. Don't just, I know what Google says point A to point B is going to be 2 hours, 3 hours.
But there could be an accident or something, and they need to reroute you, so
yes.
What do you do? So that's when I would pull out the atlas real quick and say, okay, this way they want to take us now, is this safe to know we're okay? And there might be apps for these. I'm not sure. I'm an old-fashioned. I like the paper. I like my hands on it, because if we don't have signal,
yep,
I can still pull these out and see what we need to do.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
We always got to be on the fly. I mean, things change on the road really quick.
Yeah, and as a co-pilot, you know, Renee does a lot of work while I'm driving. If we know we have like a 3-hour or 2-hour stint on a freeway, you know, she's on the computer doing our other work and doing stuff, but she's always in the know. And as a driver, know where you're at as well, because if something does come up and you need to know what mile marker you're on, so that way, for my instance, if we're in like, where is this, Kentucky, and we're driving and all of a sudden, hey babe, we gotta, hey babe, hey co-pilot babe, we I say, hey babe, we're on so and so interstate 65 and we're coming up to exit 128, we're gonna reroute. So she can go here and look at exit 128 and say, okay, there's an Outback, there's a Circle K, there's Walgreens, there's a Days Inn, let's get off there and look at the trucker's atlas and then kind of reroute, as opposed to just getting off blind. I mean, you have to get off. If they're rerouting you to get off, you have to get off. But at least this will say, hey, go down the road and we can find X business and park in there and, you know, go, okay, let's reroute. Do we need to go back? Can we stay on the street, etc.? And just kind of improvise and call the audible from there. Mm-hmm. You like the football term? Audible? Did you know it was a football term? Super Bowl's tomorrow.
You know, I don't follow football.
So you're watching this and Super Bowl is tomorrow. So this comes out on Monday, the day after Super Bowl. So congratulations, insert team here. Yay. And we are actually down from Tampa. So we saw...
The Blue Angels and...
No, the Blue Angels.
I thought those were the Blue Angels.
They were black planes.
The second round.
They were stealth bombers.
Oh, see?
we were on the beach.
They're Blue Angels to me.
No, yeah, Blue Angels are jets. Stealth bombers are gigantic and black. So I'm gonna insert footage here. Those bombers were flying over. The middle one was a B-52 bomber, and the ones on the outside are B-1 Lancer bombers. Very loud, very stealth engines. They were practice pattern flyovers, or pattern flyovers to go into Tampa for the Super Bowl tomorrow. I think they're going to fly in for the national anthem, if I'm not mistaken. So that video there of what you saw us on the beach doing sunset stuff last night. I guess that's it. Yep. You know, if you like this video and everything, you know, you found something new, again, the Motor Carriers Road Atlas and the Next Exit book are on Amazon. We will have a link down below that you can click to. And just to let you know, I guess we need to say this, that any of the Amazon links of anything we do have an Amazon affiliate store. So when you click on those links, if you've never used it, it does go straight to your personal Amazon. It just gives us a little bit of a percentage kickback, I guess, for promoting Amazon, like Amazon needs to be promoted. But they do help out the little guys, and it is kind of nice, and it does help. So any of your shopping needs on Amazon, go ahead and click that link down below. And if you are a newbie watching this, there is a list of newbie stuff, basics that you need and for your RV, and basics that you may need for your towing vehicle. So we kind of made it easy, things that we have felt that work for us, things we use. Everything that's in that list is things we use. Thanks again. Please give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you share it. Share it on Facebook, on all your forums for driving needs. And also to, as always, check out our Instagram. That is our biggest social media following there. We get people that wave at us on the road. They find us and they're messaging us. I know we meet with RVers all the time when we're in the local area, and it's always through Instagram. So thanks again, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you on the road.